I'm starting a new series in which I'm going to follow different sourdough recipes and see which one I like best. I had to repost this video because for some reason the audio in my first video is gone. So on day 1, I used my Meat Ace starter jar and I fed my starter. On day 2, I'm going to mix my dough. I will post the full recipe in the comments. This recipe is from the Pantry Mama blog, and I really hope you check it out because I found a lot of really great recipes on her website. So once we get all of our dough mixed, we're going to cover and let it rest for 1 hour. Then we're going to form our dough into a ball and kind of get the shape that we're wanting, and then we're going to let it rest for about 30 minutes. After that 30 minutes, we're going to start on our stretches and folds, and we're going to try to do that at least 4 times over 2 hours. It helps to use wet hands when you do this so that the dough doesn't stick to your fingers. When you can stretch your dough pretty thin without it breaking, you'll know that you've done enough stretching and folding. We'll cover and let it rest for a couple of hours until it has almost doubled in size, but not quite. I do not have any proofing baskets. I just used lightly floured bowls. And my daughter is showing off her new nails. She's so cute. She's so proud of herself. We're going to cover this and let it set in the refrigerator overnight. This is where the majority of your fermentation takes place, and it's best to do for about 24 to 48 hours. You can see the bubbles in the dough, and that means that your fermentation is going well. And you're going to start to shape your dough. Ideally, you would not have to do this again before you put it in the oven, but I let mine overproof, so I'm going to reshape it and try to get some tension built back up into my dough. This is not a perfect loaf by any means. I've messed it up already, but I think it's going to turn out really well. I'm going to preheat my oven and my Dutch oven to about 500 degrees. I'm going to score my dough, and then I always sprinkle a little bit of cornmeal in the bottom of my pan before I put the dough in so that it doesn't burn the bottom. Pop in a couple of ice cubes for steam to help it rise. And then I did 30 minutes at 500 degrees with the lid on, and then took the lid off and did another 10 minutes with the lid off. This was definitely overproofed, but overall it turned out really well and the flavor was very good. I'll definitely try this recipe again and just keep a better eye on my dough as it's proofing. I made some really good sandwiches with this bread, and it was actually one of my better recipes that I've tried. Follow along to see what recipe I try next.